Today I will be showing you my recent pickups. These are all the games that I got in the last 3 months. So let's begin. This is obviously the original Sonic for the Sega Mega Drive. There's nothing that can be said for this game really. It's a classic. So I got this complete in box off eBay for like €7, I believe. Let's see. This is a European version, obviously, and the artwork is much more different than the US version. And the US version looks a bit better, but still looks pretty cool. I'll show you. The manual is kind of in rough condition, but doesn't really bother me much, as you can see. It's kind of rough, but it's okay. Very fun game. I'm still at Labyrinth Zone, Act 2. I can't really get through Labyrinth Zone. It's really annoying. Labyrinth Zone is where you have the water parts where you have to swim, and it's very annoying really. But other than that, this is a very fun game. So, original PlayStation games. We got Armored Core for the PS1. This is in the original case for us. You can obviously see. I came into playing Armored Core with high expectations. I thought that would be a real cool mech game, but what is lacking in Armored Core is the gameplay. It just doesn't feel fluid. The controls feel a bit too stiff. I just don't like it that much. It has a really cool concept though. You start out with a corporation or a team, whatever, and you basically get a mech, you equip stuff for it, and so on and so forth. The disc, the manual with an advertisement for the link cable. So, okay game, but not really worth it. The original Gran Turismo. This is obviously a fantastic series. This is my favorite racing series of all time. Right now I'm trying to collect all the Gran Turismo games on the PS2, PS1, PSP, everything really. There's not really much to say about Gran Turismo 1. It's a classic, obviously. It's the first game, one of the first games that used the DualShock. There it is. These graphics back then were really impressive, but obviously today they are not that good looking. It's a PS1 game. So let me open it up. DualShock advertisement. The disc. Yeah, this is actually not my favorite GT game. My favorite Gran Turismo game is GT3. That's amazing, but we'll cover that in another video. Gran Turismo 2. These are very easy to get. You can get them for like €4-5, even less. And these are not complete. They're missing the manual, but I didn't really give that much of a shit, so just got them like this. Gran Turismo 2, this is much better than GT1. This basically uses the same engine, same graphics, but there are a ton more cars in the back here. There's over 600 cars. That's a lot. This is DualShock and all that stuff. Games can do this also. Got arcade mode and GT mode. Otherwise, it's basically same as GT1, but it has a ton more cars, events, and everything. Next up, we have the Ico for PS2. This is an incredible game from start to finish. It has memorable characters. You have Yorda and Ico. Very, very beautiful graphics. The art design in this game is amazing. This was also the limited edition of the game, and this is not the most valuable or the most rare, but it fetches a pretty penny on eBay. It's like 15-20, not much, but it's okay. So this comes in a cardboard sleeve, as you can see. The back. Show you the actual game base. Trying to preserve this. So that's the sleeve. So we have Yorda and Ico with the main character. This is a very unique game case also. So, one side note actually, the American version of Ico comes in CD-ROM. The European version comes in DVDs. So some PS2s can't play CDs because either the lasers are aged or some PS2s can't play CD-ROMs at all. So beware of that when trying to find ICO in America. So the disc is the same as the game case. So we have some really beautiful art here. Take the disc out. So there's ICO here, go there. Really nice design here. I love this case. So it comes with the manual. Set here, training 9. Okay, so here's the manual. Really nice manual actually. Not full color, but it's much better this way. Kinda reminds you of the art design and stuff in the game. So it also comes with some art cards that are very nice. These are all levels in the actual game. And very nice collector items. Very nice. So if you're playing the Cat ICO, consider this edition. It's not that hard to find, and it's well worth the money. So next up we have the King of Fighters, the Saga Continued. This is basically a compilation of King of Fighters 2000 and 2001 by SNK, obviously. I haven't played this game yet because my CRT just got fucked up and I can't play anything on it, so I'll give my PS2 a break for a while. So yep, it's complete. I showed the manual and stuff. I heard King of Fighters is a really cool 2D fighting game, and I'm looking forward to play this. So complete. Looks very fun. Now we have Zone of the Enders, the second runner, special edition. So I recently got into Zone of the Enders. I bought the first game like in June, something like that, and I enjoyed that game thoroughly. I loved the game from start to finish. Yes, it had some repetitive moments, it has its flaws, but it's very fun. The characters are okay, story is pretty solid, and the mechs are what the game is. You have Jeopardy, Anubis, Neptus, all great mechs. I'm having completed the second run, still like half of the game, so I have quite a few more hours to play, and I'm enjoying it very much. Once I get my CRT run, I'll try to complete this. The special edition also improves the graphics and adds some extras, which I don't really give a shit about. This is complete, and I'm very happy that it's complete. So the booklet, all nice, full color. Very happy with that. Got the Konami of Europe catalog. Basically has some games. Sylvania, hopefully Pro Evo, Rangers 5, and some MGS2 merchandise, which is cool. And this piece of paper. So that's Zone of the Enders 2. Try it. Okay. Next up, we have Wild Arms 4. This is a very cool Japanese RPG. It's turn-based, and it boasts a unique combat system. Usually in turn-based RPGs, there's basically 4 allies and 4 enemies in a row, and you basically fight that way. But in Wild Arms, use a hex system. Basically, have all these shapes go. I don't know how to describe it actually, but it's very easy to understand, and it makes the game much more strategic and much more fun. I don't really care about the characters that much, and the story is pretty lacking. But sorry for the cut there, guys. My memory got full, and I had to delete some stuff to continue the video. So as I was saying, Wild Arms 4 has a very fun combat system, but it's lacking in characters and story. So this isn't complete. I don't have the manual for it, which I'm kind of bummed about. And I actually am having some problems with Wild Arms. The game is freezing in a certain boss fight, and sometimes it freezes throughout the game randomly. I searched on the internet, and the only answers I found were that when you play it in 50 hertz, it glitches a bit, which is kind of hard to believe. But that's if you guys have any answers for why it is crashing, please tell me. I really want to know because it kind of makes this game unplayable sometimes. But very good game. Highly recommend it. Metal Slug 3, same as King of Fighters. I can't play right now, so I don't have any opinions on it. But it's made by Senkai. Must be good. Metal Slug is a very great series. It's got Metal Slug 3 here, complete and box. There's a really nice manual, full color. This has a good selection of characters here. Just arcade fun. Lara Croft Tomb Raider, The Angel of Darkness. I was very disappointed with this game. The thing that because this game are the controls. The controls are horrible. Lara Croft feels like a truck. She's too heavy. She's an athletic woman, as you can see here. So I expected to see controls like an athletic woman, but she doesn't, and it kind of ruins the game. Apart from that, it has a pretty good story, and the setting is very interesting actually. But apart from that, the controls fuck the game up. Missing the manual also. I'm looking forward for the new Tomb Raider game, the reboot. I think that's going to be pretty cool. So, we're approaching the last two games. Killzone. So Killzone, I played Killzone on the PlayStation 3, and it was very fun. Great graphics, great multiplayer and such. So I decided to get Killzone 1. It's actually a very fun game. The controls are okay-ish, I guess. They kind of lag sometimes and don't register button functions properly, but it's fun, you know. It's a nice FPS. It's very gritty, as it's supposed to be. This is also complete. One thing about it is that nobody really gives a shit about the story. It's very boring and bland. Although the enemies are awesome. They look like space Nazis or something like that. The manual schools like a newspaper. You can see. The characters are very bland. And that piece of paper. So, pretty fun game. So, last game is Gran Turismo 4 Prologue. As I said before, I am trying to collect all the Gran Turismo games. So this is a step forward. This includes a bonus DVD, which is very interesting. I saw that and it was very cool. As you can see, this is the game disc, and this is the making of. So yeah, it's actually kind of fun. It's very different from Gran Turismo 3. The HUD is much different. The game feels much more realistic, in my opinion. The cars feel more heavy and just feels much better than GT3 gameplay wise. Obviously, this is a prologue, which is basically a demo of the original game. But you know, I wanted to collect the games, so I got it. Nice collector's item. This is pretty cheap too. The back it says that it's a limited edition Gran Turismo title, and limited edition or not, you can find this on eBay very cheap, and there are lots of copies. So that's basically what I picked up: a bunch of PS2 games, some PS1, and one Mega Drive game. So I hope you enjoy watching, and goodbye.